Hello again, and welcome to Winning with the Wrangler at Dick Powell's Leadership Corner, brought to you by Earth, Wind, Fire, Water Training and Development, where our passion is building leaders of today and tomorrow. Today, of course, we have Miss Robin with us. Robin, how you doing today?
I am terrific.
I understand that you're going to introduce something brand new today.
Yes.
That we have never used before.
Well, no, it's a shortened form of what we normally use.
All right.
So normally when we're talking about leadership, we're talking about in a business or an organization or your family and how they all sort of work together with the same guidelines and bullet points and everything. So in reading today's 15 reasons why businesses fail, I thought we're going to get really tired of saying business, organization, family. So we should just say BOFF.
All right. So BOFF. When you hear the word BOFF, make sure that you understand that it represents business, organization, family.
And make sure you understand you heard it here first, and we get all the credit.
For all the others.
We're coining the little term BOFF. Okay.
All right. Today's topic really is very important to leadership, I believe, because it talks about the 15 reasons why businesses, or BOFF, fail.
Businesses, organization, and families. Right.
Okay.
It could apply to all of them, or at the same time or at different times, depending.
Depending on how it goes. I'll be confused. It's all good. So the first one that's on our list today, first one, it says making a business for a hobby, or mistaking a business, actually, is what it says.
Mistaking your business for a hobby.
And
that could go both ways.
And I think that's really true. I think a lot of people get into business and because they have a hobby that's been fun, it's been exciting, and all of a sudden I'll make it a business and I'll make it into financial success.
And that can work, but your odds are not working for you at this point.
Well, hobbies are things you enjoy.
Right.
And you do them when you have time.
Right.
It's kind of like you fit them in.
They're time fillers, and maybe you do them 15, 20 minutes at a time, and then you have to go cook dinner or take a bath or something. Who knows?
But a business.
Mm-hmm. If you're a business
for
yourself,
you own your own business.
You're on the line.
It's 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Every single day.
Every single day.
And you've got to be disciplined to make that happen.
Right. So your hobby suddenly has become your full-time job. And then some. And the glow may wane.
I think it might wear off pretty quick, but I've known a lot of people who've been able to do this.
Right. They're blessed.
And the only ones I've been able to see do this has had a spouse who is understanding and able to hold down a different kind of job,
right,
to ensure that the finances were always there for the family.
Well, the spouse's general job, career, whatever, is generally something that comes with retirement benefits, health insurance. Things like that, and a guaranteed paycheck.
And I have seen it really where it's grown where that all comes together.
Right.
At the beginning, this is that piece that takes a total
commitment.
You've got to be totally all in.
All in. Yeah.
And so both parties need to understand how that works.
Right.
What do you think?
I think that we should not mistake our business for a hobby.
Okay.
Or mistake our hobby for a business. As the case may be.
So number 2, of course, is one of our big ones we've talked about here many, many times. It's just poor or no planning.
Right.
There's no plan, no strategy equals no longevity.
Right. Basically, go back to our previous organizations we've been part of, where failure to plan was planning to fail.
Well, but
there's a lot of truth in that.
I'm seeing this more as the longevity part of it.
Right.
The religious organizations that we have been part of or helped with or any even near, this longevity piece has never been a part of their thought process.
No, they don't think that far ahead.
And so the strategy has been, we'll do what I've always done, and now they expect something different. And so that's the part that this no plan really starts to talk about.
You really have to have some kind of a plan. Even if it's just written on a cocktail napkin, so to speak. You need a plan, you need a strategy, and you need a plan for longevity. Or in some cases, you might be planning to begin a business, especially maybe not an organization or a family, hopefully not a family, where there is you're in business for a period of time because you're going to get bored, and you're planning to sell it because that's where you make your money.
So in business,
keep that in mind.
And we've told this to many people as we start help people start their companies. There's 3 decisions you need to make when you're starting a business.
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to work this till the day I die?
Right.
Or am I going to work this to give it away?
Right.
Or am I going to work this and build this to sell?
To position yourself.
And that in itself causes you to think, how am I going to plan and structure the
Right.
business? And
it affects it.
I other than families, I think this affects organizations as well as businesses.
Right.
And especially religious organizations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 3. This is one that I see happen over and over. Okay. Why businesses fail. It's the over entrepreneurial excitement.
Right. It's generally not based on fact. It's just excitement. And it's good, but it's got to be based on fact.
Well, what happens is you get overly excited because you really haven't done the research.
Yeah,
you really didn't get prepared. And so when you start to doing the work, the excitement seems to wear off pretty quick.
Again, I think you start out all excited about something and maybe don't do all the research. Find out what else is out there, who your competition is, things like that. It's really important when you're starting a business.
That's the piece that really starts to hit home.
We actually know a family who started writing a phone app. That would have been very helpful to certain segments of society, only to find out a month before they were ready to actually launch it that one had already been released. And now you're into all kinds of problems.
In deep.
You lost.
But they waited till they tried to get everything perfect, and you can't do that.
Well, we all know that, but that's their strategy, and that worked for them. We know that you can't get it perfect to start. You have to start it and then follow up with evaluations and further improvements.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It had all the entrepreneurial excitement and everything else, and then to find out when you're about ready to launch that you can't.
Yeah.
And so do your homework and keep your mouth shut until it gets ready to launch next time. That's the other part of it. Yeah.
Those non-compete things are really important.
There's a lot of things that have happened over centuries that we hear about. Number one would be the telephone.
Right.
That 2 people took their patent office literally at the same time, and somebody went to the bathroom and didn't get the first patent. Now there you are, you've done all the work. But it also goes back to that fact that in the world, several people minds work a lot like yours do, and you're probably not the only one with that idea.
Right.
So be aware.
Right.
Be aware.
Right. Oh, number 4. I like this one.
Oh yeah.
I do. I like this one.
Comes from my chicken farmer grandparents. Great-grandparents.
The reason the BOFF might fail is putting all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Multiple streams of income guarantee the success of the main goal.
Right. Again, you cannot, when you're starting a new business, you cannot put all of your family's financial resources into that business and hope it goes, because if it doesn't, you're on the street hungry.
And there again,
and that's honesty.
And there again,
honesty.
In a family situation, when you invest everything you have into one thing, or there's only one person who is actually
invested,
bringing in money, or there's only one stream. If something happens to that stream of income, now the family's in deep dire trouble.
Right. Again, you put all your eggs in one basket and on one goal and everything else, and it's not just up to you whether it goes or not.
And that's a big one right there. That's a big one. So many times when Robin and I talk to different people and they're in the situation, especially financial situation, if they're married, a couple, what we look at is really how many streams of income is there. Right. And because we have lived through this, we understand that if you're married, you need 4 streams of income, 2 for each person, if you're both working. Now, in our case, Robin stayed home to raise our children, so she had 1 stream of income coming from an on-home business.
I did, home basis.
And I had 1 coming from a regular full-time job, plus those extra little jobs I did on the side. So it was always that piece that we didn't rely on just one of those paychecks.
Right, because you just never know. Well, I want to expand this a little bit. I just had this brilliant thought.
Okay.
I'm sure it's brilliant. again, don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you know you're going to retire at some point, don't put all your eggs on Social Security. It will not pay your bills.
Wow.
It's never intended for that. Our parents planned that way. It's not a good plan. Believe me, you can't live on that.
Rob
you can't live in your car on Social Security. You must plan for some retirement, invest money ahead of time, whatever. Talk to some financial people. There's a lot you can do. The new thing that came out a couple months ago was if your child has a summer job, like right now in 2018, if they put all of that money, all that income from that summer job, which isn't a lot, so you can maybe match it or something, so they have some spending money, and put the rest into a major big growth investment, and they will die millionaires.
Right.
Because it has time to multiply and grow over time. So again, that whatever that amount is that a child could make, a youth could make this summer, that's a great way to start. But don't forget that. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Hold some back. They pickle quite well and keep. Just saying. And plan for the future. You may have one.
And quite honest with you, if we had a good friend tell me that when I was very young and work with us.
Okay, now right now I'm going to, since I had this discussion about that fund in our daughter's case yesterday, keep an eye on the fund.
Yes.
And as it becomes necessary, move financial planners, because she didn't. And that fund is not worth what it ought to be worth, I'll tell you. And that was just gross oversight, and she knows about finances. It just happened that way.
All right, let's move on to number 5, because number 5 is just as important, okay? This thing about poor record keeping and poor financial controls. Okay, records the only way to know if you are moving forward, falling behind, or dropping out.
Right.
Financial controls of the who, what, where, when, and how are a must.
Oh, absolutely. I have so many silly stories running in my head. One is a man who we met somewhere. I can't remember exactly where or what business, but I believe it was a multi-level marketing company or something. He had a business, and he understood finances a lot better than Dick or I are ever going to understand finances. And to help out one of his relatives, I can't remember if it was a son or I think unless it was a brother, he set him up in a shop and said you can make 51% of the profits if you follow what I'm telling you to do. And what the brother did was 51% of every dollar that went into the cash register came out and went in his pocket. Didn't understand of what you earn out of that. Okay, that there was expensive, and this guy is pouring. And the brother was supposed to do other stuff, the one that set him up. And he finally sat down and looked at him and found out what happened, because he was pouring money in this business every month, and couldn't figure out why it looked successful, and they were selling everything, but they were still losing money, and that was why. So again, you must keep records. It did, I guess, evidently get rectified somehow. Probably close the business. Disown the brother, I don't know, but keep records. Understand taxes and what's tax deductible, what is not.
And that's why there's several of these points here that we're going to go over. Really kind of go together, because number 6 is poor money management.
Right.
Managing money first takes intentional plan strategies.
Right.
And if you're not good at it, you need to hire someone who is. And I'm going to tell you, even if you are good at it, hire someone who is good.
Because they know things you don't know.
There's no way, if you're running an operation, that you're going to be able to spend the time with that like they will.
And again, in your BOFF, and I do mean all 3 points, your business, your organization, your family, set up what is acceptable expenses and what is not.
I agree.
There are wants and there are needs in your family.
Wants and needs are 2 different things, ladies and gentlemen.
Your organization should have things in line for who gets to decide where the money gets spent and how. We were in an organization one time where we didn't get paid for a job that I had done for them, something I had fun. It cost me money to do this because the person that was in charge didn't get a purchase order. So, that did not make me very happy because,
the deal here is
but make sure you understand and you have things in place and you follow them.
No matter where you are in the BOFF.
Right.
Okay. Money management is a top priority. Financial things. Because it's number 7. It says poor lack of cash flow. Think about it. you can't do much if something's not coming in. But if you're not keeping track of what's coming in and going out, you are going to be in dire trouble.
You're going to find a lot of surprises.
Yeah, one of the things that really is here is we're finding a lot of organizations is that non-planning of the future.
Right.
If you have to put a new air conditioner in your home, in your organization, your business, find out how much it's going to cost, the expected lifespan it's going to be, and then
put some money away.
Put some money away in the budget so when it dies, you can afford to replace it.
I don't know how everyone else's houses are, but I know in our house right now, we are at the end of the life expectancy of everything except the hot water heater.
Yep.
And that means that we're at the end of life. And if everything broke in 2 months, it's a lot of money.
And she's talking about the refrigerator, the stove, the
dishwasher, the washing machine, the dryer, fire, and then the air conditioner.
You know, all those kind of things.
Like we had to redo the plumbing a couple of years ago. That was kind of a shock. But the electric is 40 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, really, our boxes. I mean, you have to plan for those things.
And that's where.
So don't spend all your cash.
That's the big one where organizations and businesses fall down very quickly. It's also where families go broke very quickly because of non-planning. And this goes right back to all those different parts and pieces that we're talking about putting all your eggs in one basket, about poor record keeping, about poor money management, about poor cash flow. All those things kind of go together, but you have to understand that you can't be great at all of those things. Okay, in your business and organization, you need to have someone else on the board, on something else that's looking after those things.
Or on retainer, so you can help them accountable and go find somebody else if it comes up.
I'm all about checking them out.
I'm going to actually warn you about your cash flow. We know many people that start their own small businesses over time, and they look at the deductions. And of course, in this day and age, one of your deductions can be your daily coffee. And how much money we have seen people starting out in business at around $3 a day for a coffee, multiply that times 5 days a week times a month, and that's a significant amount of money.
It's a huge amount of money.
And if
you have to make the money to be able to spend it.
Right, and if you're actually going out to breakfast, lunch, and dinner at that same time,
and what they're doing is
you can't afford it.
They're spending the money before it's made.
Before it's made.
Okay, now if you're spending the money before it's made, you're going to call Robin and Dick and say, hey, how do we get out of this problem?
You're going to go bankrupt.
Okay.
Or you're going to have to close your business and pay off the debt. That's just the reality. Don't spend it if you don't have it. Be good stewards.
Let's jump down
Mind your BOFF.
Let's jump down to number 8 here. Because I believe this one's important. It's a lack of experience in running a business. You know, running a business is not like anything else you've ever done. Okay. So if you're not well versed in running a company, bring someone in who is. Do what you do best and farm out the rest. Okay. This is just so important. It sounds simple, and it sounds like, gee, why didn't I think of that? Well, you didn't think of it. You didn't do it. Now you're out of business, and you're going, whoa, what happened?
We know in my prior business, my other business, which I've been in business for 27 years, that when people don't figure out what it costs to produce the product.
Real cost.
What's the real cost of producing that
real
product?
Cost.
That they make things difficult for other people in the same business. If they're just watch what your cost is. When you set your cost, find somebody who can help you figure that stuff out. What's your cost? Generally, it's more. Whatever.
It's more than just the item that you're putting together.
Right.
It's your insurance. It's the overhead. It's all electric. It's all those different parts and pieces that go into the producing and the making of it.
And if you're not good at that,
you need to find someone to help.
It may or may not. If you're in a small business, it may or may not be your spouse. If neither one of you can do it, you better find somebody else, because otherwise you're screwed. I'm
going to always encourage you to find someone else.
Or at least someone else.
It'll keep the problems out of the complications with the spouse, okay? I'm just going to tell you.
If you want to keep all of your BOFF in place, you need to watch that kind of thing.
Okay.
You really need to watch it.
Number 9, wrong location.
Yeah.
I've heard it said 100 more than that. Location. Research. I was talking to a realtor just the other day that only handles new businesses. That's all she does. And she said that it takes her between 3 and 6 months to really do the research of where that business would be the best.
Most effective.
And I started thinking about it. I asked her a lot of questions about it. And she said, well, first she finds out what was in that store that the person comes to. I want to buy that.
Why is that store
I want to
empty?
rent that store and I want to buy that store.
Yeah.
First she does all the background check on that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a place on near us that has had 7 different restaurants in it in 7 different years.
And that's not uncommon.
And she will not rent that to any new restaurant coming in. She says take it off the market.
Is it set to fail? Okay.
I don't care how good it looks to you.
Yeah, it's not an option. Interesting.
Those things are really important. And that's why finding a realtor who only handles business, I thought, how smart is that?
Yeah, niche.
Okay, so wrong location.
I was thinking about many years ago driving down Miami Beach and seeing a snow ski shop. First of all, the title was in Spanish, so anybody who didn't read Spanish didn't know what it said. But I thought, how weird to have a snow ski shop on Miami Beach.
I thought it was pretty weird.
But I think it'd been in business for a while. It'd be interesting to know if it still is. So,
all right.
Nobody knows everything.
Number 10, competition. 3 basic questions to answer each and every day are: who are they? Where are they? And what makes us unique?
Yeah.
That
applies to your customers and your competition.
I'm going to tell you, if you look at the whole BOFF, you need to be looking at those 3 questions all the time. So competition, I love it when a guy tells me, well, I don't have any competition. I'm the only guy that knows how to do what I do.
That's scary. I would never want to use that person.
and of course, I always look at him and go, really? Is that true?
Yeah.
So just think about competition. Ask yourself some questions. Just ask the who, what, where, how. Talk to other people. Get out there and network and find out what's going on in your location. You've got to do it, okay? Now, this next one, this is one where kind of rubs me little bits, but we're going to talk about it, okay?
We have head knockings about this.
It's called procrastination and poor time management.
Right.
Well, first of all, procrastination is something we all practice, and second of all, you can't manage your time. We all get the same 24 hours in a day, so it's how do we prioritize, okay? How we prioritize everything. Now, that's something different. But this is the 2 words that you have heard and you'll probably understand. You see, prioritize everything. It is something only you can do. It is something someone else can do. But here it is. If someone else can do it 80% as well, let them do it. Okay? You don't need to do everything. I think that was.
I'm not sure I agree with that, but that's okay.
I'm going to tell you, when I learned that I didn't have to do everything.
Oh, yeah.
It not only freed up my brain, but it freed up the way I did business.
Right. And I know we've had discussions over time about
sometimes heated
when I don't do things when you think I should do them. Yeah. But again, I know everything I need to do, and I have already prioritized it. And one of the things I didn't do was my business was custom shirts. So if I got an order for one shirt, it really wasn't worth my time
to do just one.
To go order one shirt and drive to pick it up. I needed to have more than one. Okay. And so I had always instigated a 2-week turnaround because I figured within 2 weeks I'm going to have more orders and I can combine them, because there really isn't any point in taking one of my wholesalers was about a 45-minute drive.
Yeah.
And to drive 45 minutes and have a 70-mile round trip on a shirt you were probably going to make a $3 profit on really doesn't make any sense at all.
Right.
So take time to look at those things and figure out what works.
And when you're working like we do, we work tandemly and apart many times. So you need to look at how each person does the prioritize. You know, I'm up early and right on it, and Robbie's up a little later. It's just how it works. And of course, we, after all these years, kind of have
we let it work.
We have a good working relationship. Yeah. But you know, it's all about that.
Everybody's going to be different.
I have to tell you, back in my corporate days, I used to teach this whole class on time management. It was so terrible that I would never teach it the way that they had it written. Okay.
Did you actually ever read the book Cheaper by the Dozen?
Yes, I did.
Oh, it was an excellent time management book. Everyone should read it.
All right,
Okay.
let's look at this next one. Ineffective marketing.
Yeah.
Okay, marketing should satisfy the needs and wants through the development of the client, through the education of the product. Now, I learned that
Okay,
from
that's a mouthful.
well, it is, but I learned it from Bob Bush, and
Okay.
and Bob brought this to my attention, and he said you have to look at everything from the client side of the house. You know, because they're gonna what's in it for me is always the biggest one you're gonna have to answer for them. But the question he started asking me, he asked me what techniques am I using now, and when I told him, he said, "Well, are they working?"
First question: Are they working?
So Bob's been a big help to me on that, and that's why I wanted to make sure I shared it with all of you out there.
Yeah, pay attention to who you're marketing to, what you're marketing, and make sure you're marketing what you really want to sell.
Well, and when we talk about our BOFF, I have to tell you, sometimes I have to market to my own family, so just so you know.
Yeah, that does come up. I wanted to interject here. I think we did this just this week. We took some time off, and Dick had gotten some information about this birding and photography thing during it's a nesting season.
Yeah.
Okay, and it was up in St. Augustine. We hadn't been there for a while. And we went to the event, and walking out the door back to the van, this is my concept. The promotions and marketing far exceeded the program. So make sure when you're marketing that they balance. You don't want to undersell. You don't want to
even out a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what I want to say is on this marketing photography thing, the whole exhibitor area was all cameras.
Yep.
And printing equipment. I never expected it to be that targeted. It was all cameras and equipment.
I was kind of surprised.
Oh, my mouth is still open from that. That was all that was about. We did not pay the fee for the event because there wasn't anything within the event we wanted to do that didn't cost another fee that was pretty hefty. And you're on an estuary, if you know what that is. It's between the ocean and a river, technically, in that area. And while we were walking around, we did not see or hear one bird.
I think there were so many people you couldn't have seen a bird.
There's a lot of people there somewhere. So on the other part of this is we drove a few miles down the same road and stopped at another tourist attraction, actually the oldest one in our state. And as part of that, the bonus part of that was there was all kinds of birds roosting.
Right. So we got the benefit of it. We had a great time.
I couldn't believe that there was that many birds roosting in that small area.
All right.
And we actually saw eggs and nests and everything.
Yeah. Blue ones from herons.
Yeah.
We've got number 13 here. Ineffective sales techniques.
Yeah.
Okay. Sales is about the action of the exchange of goods or services or for currency. Does your sales force need training? What techniques are they using now? And are they working? That's the question.
Right. Pay attention.
We only have a minute left.
Wrap it up. Sorry.
So we need to really start asking those questions. What's working? What's not working? Number 14, poor or lack of customer service. This is my number one. If you want to have a real successful business in today's time, you provide the best customer service, you'll take everybody else's business away. I guarantee it.
They'll come back.
And number 15, entrepreneurial burnout. Just remember that, just because it's a shiny ball doesn't mean it's going to be something that's going to sell.
And you have to keep changing and altering according to the times and locations and products.
So I hope this has really brought to your mind a whole new thought process on why maybe you're having trouble with your business, why maybe something's going on, and all those kind of things as to how to be success. Got any last minute?
Only that we're running close, sorry.
Okay. On behalf of myself, Dick Powell, and Robin Powell, we want to say thank you for tuning on to today's program. Now, if you have any comments or you have any worries, give us a call, 727-422-1833, 727-422-1833. If you want to set your very own appointment with either Robin or myself, go to our website, www.leadershipwrangler.com, www.leadershipwrangler.com. Hey, you know what? You can send me an email. Send me an email at dick@leadershipwrangler.com, and I'll answer that pretty darn quick. But I want you to also remember, when you're looking for those people to come in and work with your group about leadership and accountability, make sure you're calling the Leadership Wrangler. We're available for keynotes, instructions, facilitation, business and presentation coaching. And until next time, this is DW the Wrangler saying, ride hard, ride fast.
Oh, God, right on spot on.
We should be pretty spot on much long as we've been doing this. Okay, we called it 15 reasons, right?
Mm.
What's wrong with my tummy today?
Your snack. So it's 4 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like?
I don't know. You got mine? I'll put that over in the other pile now.
Okay.
See anything else you want? This is defining the milestones, choosing a coach. What is that one up there?
Drumbeat.
Drumbeat.
Here's some judgment. What's that look like?
This is the one I thought would go with this one, bounce with me. I didn't think that would take a whole half hour, and it did. It's just 13 errors in judgment. I think you can make a half hour out of it if you want.
Oh, yeah.
You want to do that one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me take care of this one.
Okay, ready for a quick snack?
Next week's all done. 17. We're doing 18. We've got
good.
19, 20.
26. 8
Yep.
more.
Yeah. That's the goal. So you want to get a snack and then do one, or you want to do one and then
Oh,
go?
was there something I can bring you for a quick snack?
Nah.
Okay.
I'll just have a cold drink and I'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.